The Wizard of Oz, a timeless film. I'm sure most of you at some point have either watched the film or, if not, at least heard of it. From the bright and saturated Technicolor to the magic and whimsy you feel when you watch the film. But have you heard about the dark things that went on during the making of this classic? From drugs, accidents, and injuries to allegations. We're going to talk about it all. I'm your host, Scoot, and I'm here with
Hatter.
And welcome to Investigation. The 1939 classic that is The Wizard of Oz film actually cost roughly $2,769,300. No. That was a lot of numbers. That was not correct.
I was like listening and I was like, she's struggling. She's not going to get this one.
No. So the film roughly cost about $2,769,230.30 to, there's a range, to somewhere around $2,777,000
Okay,
to
so
produce.
Pretty close together range, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Now, that would be and that was in back then's money.
Yeah.
So in today's money, that is $66,718,324.03. I had to pause for a second because, like, oh no, I'm going to screw it up again.
I'm going to screw it up again. That's a lot of money. But, I mean, today's movies often are, like, around that much, too. So that's not crazy.
Yeah. But for back then, the average, like, a big budget MGM movie, which is, MGM is who produced the film.
Right.
Usually their movies were about 1.5 million back
so
then. So it was a larger budget for back then.
Yeah. Like almost double.
Yeah. So you can see where they kind of went way over budget to make this film from, like, the average.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the initial release in 1939, the average movie ticket cost only about 25 cents.
Damn. What is that, like $4 in today's
Probably.
money?
I didn't do the math for that one, but yeah, 25 cents to go to the movie.
It must be nice.
It must be nice. Now it's like $10, and then it's $10 to get your concession, so we're looking at like $20.
Oh, yeah. In New York, it was like $15 for a movie ticket, not including concessions and stuff.
Craziness. Are you doing the math?
I am doing the math.
I figured you were doing. I did the math for everything else but that one.
What year is this?
1939.
39. Oh, $5.80.
You're really close.
I was really close.
So, Matt, $5.
$5.
Go to the movies. I wish. I miss that.
Me too.
So the studio initially lost roughly $1.14 million on this film. They had estimated to make more.
Right.
But, ticket prices. Now, the movie finally turned a profit during the 1949 theatrical re-release.
Okay.
So, like, 10 years later is when it started really making a profit. Now, The Wizard of Oz also used groundbreaking 3-strip Technicolor. I'm going to explain what that is.
I was like, I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Essentially, it's like one of the most advanced, like, color cinematography methods that was used during that era.
Oh.
So instead of using, like, a single piece of, like, color film, Technicolor used, like, a special prism to, like, split the light going through the lens, and it used 3 different types of strips.
Okay.
So you had, like, red light, green, and blue that was all simultaneously going through.
Yeah.
And so when you would put the 3 films together, you get this really bright, saturated color. And it wasn't like standard color films, because color films were coming out in the 30s.
Yeah.
But Technicolor was, like, bright and saturated.
Right.
So, like, one of a kind type deal.
It reminds me of those videos where it's like, it's kind of showing how printers work. So printers use like cyan, magenta, and yellow, and then they'll overlay those to make the different colors.
Exactly.
And so it's like a drawing, but they have it in either one of the 3 colors, and then they overlap them, and suddenly it's the picture, and you're like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Exactly the same thing. Now, this is actually why they differed from the original book of The Wizard of Oz. So, in the original book, Dorothy had silver slippers. So, instead of using, like, the original silver slippers, they changed them to ruby to make them pop against the yellow brick road.
Ah.
Which I thought was a really neat fact.
Yeah.
Also, the ruby slippers are also copyrighted and trademarked.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes. But, now that you've gotten a little bit of information about the film, let's get to the dark stuff.
The dark stuff.
And I debated on where I wanted to start with it, but I figured we could start with the star of the movie, Judy Garland.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I have heard a little bit about the dark history of The Wizard of Oz. But one, it was so long ago, it was at least like 5 years ago.
I just heard click.
He's clicking my mouse. This chunky ass is laying down on my mouse. Do you want me to move it?
He said, move that out of my way. Look at him.
He's like, yes, bitch, do what I say. So not only was it so long ago that I listened to it, there was also, I think, so much that a lot of it has just like out of my head. It's just not there anymore.
It's just gone.
So it's kind of like I'm hearing it for the first time, but there might be a moment where I'm like, oh my god, yeah!
Yeah!
Like, I remember that!
So, Judy Garland was 16 years old when she filmed The Wizard of Oz in 1938.
Right.
Now, honestly, you could do a whole...
Hang on,
Yes.
sorry. So she filmed it in 1938 and the movie came out in 1939. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, especially for everything that goes on, like, that must have been fucking long-ass work days.
You don't even know. We're gonna get there.
Oh, boy.
Now, back to what I was saying. You could honestly do a whole episode about Judy's life in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Or just about child actors in general.
Yeah, I know that, like, from a young age, if I am remembering correctly, she was, like, always forced to be, like, look a certain way, like, from her parents as well.
Yeah.
So she definitely had a rough life.
Yes.
For sure.
Now, originally, they were actually seeking out Shirley Temple, who was around 11 years old at the time,
Damn.
to play the role of Dorothy.
That would have been, like, a completely different movie vibe.
It would have
An
been.
11-year-old.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But ultimately, due to MGM's need for, like, a stronger vocalist, and as well as, like, studio contracts, they ultimately gave Judy the role as their second, and maybe even possibly a third choice.
Wow.
So she wasn't the first.
Yeah.
And they kind of made that very obvious to her, really.
That's rude.
It is rude. They used specific costuming choices to make her appear younger for the role. Like she was in a restricting corset to kind of hide her, growing figure. She was a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
They put caps on her teeth because they didn't like how her teeth looked.
What the fuck?
They put nose discs in her nose.
Wait, what are nose discs?
So they're these tiny little, you could still buy them. Actually, I looked them up on the internet.
Oh.
They're these little things that you shove up in your nose.
Okay, so, like, this is weirdly specific. I've seen, like, I believe it's, like, Japanese women who will use them because they have really, really strict beauty standards over there to change the shape of their nose.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
I know what you're talking
exactly.
about.
And that's what they did. They made her put these little nose discs in her nose to give it a more button nose-like effect, like a more childlike appearance. Why didn't you just hire a 12-year-old? Because that's what they were going for. Because in the book, Dorothy was 12. Why not just hire a 12-year-old?
Or, like, also, even if you needed to hire, it's not like her age was that imperative to the storyline.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if you did hire her, like, just leave her at 16. I mean,
it wouldn't have hurt anything.
Yeah, it's not going to drastically change the plot line.
No, like, it would not have hurt anything at all. Studio executives actually put Judy Garland on a restrictive diet.
I remember that.
Yes.
And how bad that was.
And that consisted of black coffee, chicken soup, maybe some cottage cheese, that's what some of the sources said, and cigarettes.
Yeah. I remember that. Didn't she get, like, severely addicted, too, because of how much she was required to smoke? Oh, Jesus Christ. Not the maniacal laughter.
We're gonna go down the rabbit hole. Just hold
I'm
your horses.
in danger.
Now, some of the sources did say that it was like 80 cigarettes a day.
Jesus Christ.
Which is the equivalent of 4 packs a day.
Oh my God.
And that was to suppress her appetite.
Yeah.
I feel like that number is probably exaggerated. I feel like it probably wasn't that much. But she was definitely encouraged to smoke heavily.
I feel like getting through 80 cigarettes in a day is a lot. I could imagine somebody getting through maybe 2 packs, maybe even 3.
Yeah.
If it's like a really long day. But pushing to 4 is kind of like...
That's a lot.
Are you smoking in your sleep? Like, as well? Because then maybe, but at some point you've got to sleep. At least a little bit.
Yeah. I guess that they thought she was fat or like too fat for the role.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the 1930s of it all.
Yeah. And studio executives actually called Judy, quote, the fat little pig with the pigtails.
Jesus Christ.
A 16-year-old.
And I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Would you rather have, like, fucking get an anatomical skeleton and just put a fucking dress on her? Like, fuck.
Yeah. Now, to get Judy through 16-hour days, like shooting, like filming schedules, studio executives gave her stimulant pills or amphetamines.
Nice.
Uppers during the day.
Oh, yeah. So she's taking uppers and smoking at least 3 to 4 packs of cigarettes a day.
Bunch of cigarettes.
That's cool. So they're just like, we're just going to get this 16-year-old addicted to everything so that we can make our movie.
Oh, and let's go one step further because they gave her barbiturates, aka depressants or sleeping pills, to make her sleep.
Oh, because they were literally drugging her with so many uppers she couldn't sleep. So they
had
were
to give
like,
her...
here's some downers so that you can.
So you can sleep.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, and honestly, this could have even started before filming Wizard of Oz. I know that there's been some like biographies that came out about her that suggest that this kind of started possibly like when she was like 9 years old, taking uppers and downers.
Yeah.
Possibly pushed by her mother.
I remember there's like a lot with her mom.
Yeah.
And just pushing her. It reminds me kind of like Jeanette McCurdy.
Yes.
Now, who like wrote the book, like what was it? I'm Glad My Mom Died.
Something like it's close in title.
Yeah, where like it was just constantly like, you need to be skinny, or you need to be this, you need to be that. Exactly. It reminds me a lot of that.
Exactly. And honestly, this probably contributed to her struggling with addiction for the rest of her life.
Well, no shit. Like, imagine that. Who could have seen that one coming?
Because ultimately, it was the cause of her death on June 22nd, 1969, at the age of 47, when she died of an accidental overdose of barbiturates.
Imagine that.
There you go.
Yep. If somebody can intentionally take medication and overdose on it, and it will be listed as an accidental overdose.
Fair enough.
So she could have also like intentionally killed herself from her past as well.
Which honestly, I believe from my research, she did attempt several times.
Yeah.
So this could have been possibly. But she also endured abuse in other manners. An incident occurred when they were filming the scene where like Dorothy slaps the Cowardly Lion and he starts crying. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So during this, Judy would mess up because she would laugh. She would start giggling upon seeing Bert Lahr, who played the Cowardly Lion. The sound he would make, it would make her laugh.
Yeah.
So after several takes, director Victor Fleming was just not pleased with that. So he called cut during filming. He went up to her and he slapped her in the face. She was a child.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Didn't pull her to the side, nothing. He just straight up just smacked her across the face.
What the fuck? You know, some of my favorite parts about movies, too, is, like, watching the bloopers of, like, when... So to just imagine also somebody being so mad over something like that.
Yeah.
Like, they're literally acting. There's gonna be times... I just watched this one. This is so off subject.
No,
the guy who plays in Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
The main guy.
Yeah.
He was in this movie, and... this other character has to come up to him while the Breaking Bad actor is sitting on the toilet, like taking a shit in the movie. And the guy gets like this close to his face, which the listeners can't see me, but it's like a few inches from his face.
Like an inch. Like...
Yeah, and they have to deliver lines. And there's like maybe 26 bloopers of the Breaking Bad guy breaking character because he can't keep it together. Because it's so funny.
So funny.
And it's just like, I can't imagine just treating somebody like that just because they're giggling.
Yeah.
Because of something that is kind of funny.
Yes.
Like, it's acting.
It's acting.
Relax.
But no, he told her to stop wasting the crew's time and to get the scene right. And, you know, after he slapped her, she did.
Right.
She did get the scene right.
Because then you're just terrified.
Yeah.
It's not like you're suddenly, it's anything changed. You're just scared of fucking up.
Yes.
And getting physically abused again.
Yeah. So Judy's ex-husband, Sidney Luft, who passed away in 2005, he alleged in an unfinished memoir that came out posthumously in 2017. Now, what that means is that a journalist took the unfinished writings and then also unpublished interviews and kind of pieced it together.
Right, yep.
And that was called Judy and I, My Life with Judy Garland. But he claimed that Judy Garland was repeatedly sexually harassed by her co-stars that played the Munchkins.
Jesus.
Luft claimed that many of the male actors who were like in their 40s or older felt like they could get away with the behavior because of their stature. They would put their hands like under her dress.
What the fuck? A 16-year-old.
A 16-year-old, yes.
Jesus Christ.
And let's see. In a 1967 interview on the Jack Parr show, Judy Garland joked that the actors, referring to the actors that played the Munchkins, little drunks who would get heavily intoxicated every night.
Oh.
Hold on, we're going to expand.
Okay.
We're going to expand. Hold on. Jerry Moran, who played one of the Lollipop Guild Munchkins, I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he was specifically the one who handed the lollipop to Dorothy in the movie.
Okay.
He would go to defend his fellow actors and refute these allegations. He claimed that the cast of the Little People were closely monitored, their schedules were strictly managed, and that they were only taking home about $50 a week.
Whoa.
Which, that's the equivalent of $1,201.27 this year.
That's not a bad paycheck, but I can imagine for like the amount of work, because like I said, they filmed and released within a year.
Yes.
So I imagine that it wasn't just like a few days on set a week.
No. This was probably like
14/7, like 14-hour days, 7 days a week, probably.
Yeah. Now, the Munchkin actors were contracted for at actually $100 per week, but their recruiter, Leo Singer, took half as a agent fee.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. This was less than what the dog who played Toto made.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Toto, who was played by a female, I think it's Karen Terrier, I think is what she is, named Terry, earned $125 a week.
Oh my god.
Which obviously that went to like the owner of Terry,
Right.
but still $125 a week.
But also,
compared to
that's showing how the way they valued
yes.
the Munchkins in the movie.
Yes.
Like, which is obviously as less than people because
yes.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially his claim was like they're only taking like $50 a week. They don't have the funds to just go and drinking every night was kind of his thing. Which
if I was making, $1,200 a week, I would have funds to go out drinking pretty much every night. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like that's not the best rebuttal to come up with. I don't know, like, living costs, but I'm assuming that they're still probably cheaper than today's living costs.
Then we also had Margaret Pellegrini. She played one of the Munchkins, and she was 15 years old.
You want to try that again?
Yeah, I do. She played one of the Munchkins, and she was 15 years old at that time.
Okay.
Now, she told Independent in 2009, to quote, "There was a lot of them who liked to go out and have a few drinks, but nothing got out of hand. Everyone was having a good time and enjoying themselves. There was no rowdiness or anything like that. Those stories are very upsetting." Which I feel like that's a reasonable
claim.
Yeah. Because you also have to think a lot of them had never probably met another little person before coming onto the film.
They didn't have the outreach and stuff like that we can do today.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They literally will have groups of like events for little people to go to now.
Exactly.
So it does make sense that it was probably like, unless there was other people in their family or something, it was way harder for them to connect with others that were like them.
So I can imagine, you're on set and after work, you're probably going to go out for a drink.
Yeah, and share stories with people who know your life.
Or like you. Yeah, they're like you.
Was there ever any like backup to the claims of like them sexually assaulting her, or is it just like some allegations?
I think it's just more some allegations. I couldn't specifically find anything that was like, aha, this did happen. You know?
I feel like Julie would have been like, yeah, that they did that.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I just don't understand why the ex-husband put it in the memoirs. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, unless like maybe there's always a few bad apples,
of course.
So it could have been like a few of them, and then the way that it was just pieced together, it makes it sound like a lot of them did it.
But to say it gave the whole bunch a bad rep.
Yeah. Especially, like we said, they weren't exactly treated great as is. So it could have been one shitty person who then ruined it for everybody type of thing.
Yeah. Now, they actually hired 124 actors to play the Munchkins.
Damn.
Now, some of them were part of a traveling performance troupe. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for what I'm about to say. That is just simply what it was called. They were called the Singer Midgets.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was putting a forewarning.
Was that a self-name?
Yes, that is just literally what they were called. That's what their group, their troupe was called.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they had actually recently fled what was Nazi-controlled Europe, so English was not their first language, so most of the lines of the Munchkins were actually dubbed.
Whoa.
Little known fact.
I didn't think that.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Which also makes me think, like, someone taking half their pay. Like, it's actually also really crappy because
it's easier for them to take advantage of somebody who doesn't speak English.
Who doesn't, like, English is not their first language.
Yeah. You see that all the time.
Yes.
Because it's just easy for them to get in and be like, oh yeah, they said this. They're going to pay you, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. But speaking of pay, Judy Garland was paid $500 per week, which was $12,012.60 in today's money. Ray Bolger, who played the Scarecrow in the movie, was paid $3,000 per week.
Whoa.
Which was $72,075.97 in today's money.
So the star of the show didn't even get paid half
of what her co-stars were making.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't the only one. And Jack Haley was also paid $3,000 a week for his role as the Tin Man.
What the fuck?
And then Burt Lahr, who played, again, I mentioned earlier, the Cowardly Lion, was paid $2,500 a week.
I mean, I understand that they're in less scenes, but that doesn't make any sense that you would pay somebody less or like more for being in less scenes.
So I guess the way the studio did it is they prioritized salaries based on the actor's established fame.
Right, which still happens today, but like that much of a jump is crazy.
Yes, say it's a way bigger jump than what you would normally see.
Yeah.
Judy being a juvenile, and she had like a standard long-term studio contract, and I'm sure that played a part of it as to why she wasn't paid as much, but at what cost?
Right.
With what she endured.
Right. Because like that's why they'll do like a lot of movies even today where there's like basically cameos of really popular actors.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about like the D&D movie, right?
Yes.
And I forget who it was, but he plays the halfling in it, and he's just in it for maybe like a 5-minute scene, but it's so funny because like you're watching it and you're like, oh my god, I know this guy too. But they'll do that and they'll pay them like their costs, but it's cheaper in the long run because they're only paying it for a 5-minute scene as opposed to getting them for the whole movie.
Yes.
I do understand that, but I don't understand the giant jump from 500 to 300
to 3,000.
Or yeah, excuse me, 3,000, which is the equivalent of 12,000 to 72,000.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. No, it's really, really crazy.
Were they at least paying for her cigarettes? Because, like,
I don't
Jesus
know. I
Christ.
know. But let's go ahead and talk about the co-stars of the movie, since, I brought it up, and that's just how we're going to segue into it. The Cowardly Lion costume was actually made from an actual lion. That was a real lion's hide.
Yeah.
And that actually weighs somewhere around 90 to 100 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
And with the, little to no ventilation for the actor, and with the studio lights, it was probably about 100 degrees inside that costume,
Fuck, man.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, my AC has been broken in my apartment. It's been sitting at 85. And I, at 85, want to, like, die the entire time. Like, I'm dumping water on my head. I'm taking cold showers. I can't imagine having to be in a room, like, for my imagination, we're in a room that's 100 degrees, and then you also have to act and move. And you have no fans. You're just in, like, a stifling, muggy room. And you still have to, like, deliver your scenes and all of that. That's crazy.
Yes. Bert was constantly, like, sweating during filming, to the point where the costume was completely drenched in sweat.
Wow.
So what they had to do is they had to put the costume in an industrial dryer to be dried at the end of each day.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine how that smelled.
Ew, yeah.
Like,
I can't imagine. He probably would have had to, like, been on the verge of heat stroke.
oh, I'm sure.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I'm surprised he didn't get heat stroke, just in general.
Honestly, yeah. Now, the actor's makeup was so difficult and it took so long to apply that at first, he wasn't allowed to eat or chew on set.
Oh my God.
He was drinking milkshakes and soup through a straw.
Wow. At least the milkshakes would be cold
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. Until he just finally got tired of it and he requested that his makeup just be redone after lunch so he could actually eat solid food.
Valid.
Which is valid. Now, did you know that they originally had someone else for the role of Tin Man?
I think I do. I did. I think I do know that, or I did know that. And I believe, I don't want to take away your thunder, but I believe it was because of issues with the makeup, what they were putting in the makeup.
Yes.
Okay.
Buddy Ebsen was originally cast for the role of Tin Man. The music used.
The music? What music?
No. the makeup that was used on Buddy, it was a base of, like, clown white makeup, so, like, what clowns would use to paint their faces white for carnivals and whatnot. And then they would dust it every day, multiple times a day, with aluminum dust. So ground up bits of aluminum.
Yep.
That would, like, adhere to the clown makeup and give him that shiny metallic effect.
Yeah. You know how bad aluminum is for you?
We're going to talk about that.
I'm sure we are.
As well as actually the suit itself, like the actual, like, rest of the costume was made of metal, so he just couldn't sit down. You just had to, like, lean on a board.
That's awful.
To rest. Yeah. Insane.
And they were so, like, being dicks about it too that I'm sure it wasn't even worth taking off to, like, put back on for, like, their limited breaks that I'm sure that they had.
Now, the makeup actually almost killed him. After about 9 to 10 days of filming, Buddy Ebsen woke up in the middle of the night, having shortness of breath and cramping, so he went to the hospital.
Valid.
I have a quote. "My lungs felt as though someone had coated them with glue.
Oh.
My breathing was excruciating. I can't say the word.
Excruciating.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Labored, and no oxygen seemed to reach my lungs." End quote.
That's awful.
So what was happening is, from where he was constantly breathing in that aluminum dust, it was coating his lungs.
Yeah.
It literally, like, coated the lungs. So he spent 2 weeks hospitalized, which included time in an oxygen tent and an iron lung.
Oh my God.
If you don't know what an iron lung is, it's literally like your whole entire body is in it, except for your head. And the machine is essentially breathing for you.
Yeah.
Keeping you alive. Now, Buddy Ebsen revealed in an interview that was included on the 2005, like, DVD release of The Wizard of Oz. The actor claimed in the interview that MGM Studios heads, like the executives, ignored his claims that he was ill and didn't believe him. And it wasn't until he was ordered back to set, and then he was intercepted by, like, an angry nurse. I can't talk. I'm talking too fast. And I'm like,
You're so worked up because you're like, this is so fucked that you're just fumbling over your words.
Oh, let me lock in. So essentially, the studio heads just ignored his claims that he was ill.
Yeah.
Didn't believe him.
Told him to get back on set.
Told him to get back on set. And then was intercepted by an angry nurse. And it wasn't until then that the studio actually took him seriously. Like, oh, he's sick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So then the filmmakers then replaced him with Jack Haley for the role of Tin Man. Now, the studio learned from their mistake, and instead of using straight aluminum powder, makeup artists mixed it into a paste with the white clown base.
Yeah.
However, this also caused issues for Jack Haley.
Right. It's still sitting on your skin.
Yeah.
And, like, just because it's, at least you're not breathing it in, I guess. But, like, your body absorbs so, like, your skin is literally your largest organ.
Yes.
It absorbs so much through it.
So what happened now is that Jack Haley was getting, like, an infection in his right eye because of where it's too close to his eye.
Mm-hmm.
And it did need medical attention, but, you know, that was a more treatable thing.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yes. Now, Ray Bolger, who played the Scarecrow in the movie, by the time they finished filming the movie, he had a burlap pattern and edges of the mask were actually imprinted into his skin.
Oh my God.
And the lines were, like, noticeable, like, around his mouth and chin for, like, a year. Like, it took a year for it to finally, like, disappear.
Whoa.
Yes. Craziness.
Yeah.
Now, they were not the only actors to have issues on set. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West. Do you know anything about that, kind of?
Mm-hmm.
I can use that you're...
This is pretty much, I think, the only thing I really remember.
That you really remember? Okay. So her green makeup was actually copper-based paint,
Mm-hmm.
which is toxic.
Extremely
toxic. So she was forced to drink through a straw so she didn't ingest the paint.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why is that their solution for everybody? Oh, your costume's actually, like, absolutely shit and creating all these problems for you. Just eat your food through a straw.
Yeah. Oh, and a little side note, I didn't add this in here until you just mentioned it. A lot of the like actors would just eat in their trailers instead of in, like, the localized area because, like, the costumes, like, freaked people out.
Oh.
So
they had to go and hide.
they had to go hide. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and it left her skin with a faint green tint for weeks after filming was done.
That's crazy.
Yes. Now, during her first iconic scene where she had, like, the fiery exit from the Munchkin land.
I was just going to say, didn't she? And then you said, so it's like, never mind, I'm just going to shut my fat mouth.
So during that scene, what was supposed to happen is that she was on a trap door that was supposed to open for, you know, the actress while the flames were and smoke was going. That way, you know, she would be safe. Now, while actually filming the scene, when they actually went to film, the trapdoor delayed in opening, so the broom, like the straw of the broom, and her cat caught on fire. So she essentially caught on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Margaret would suffer second-degree burns on her face and third-degree burns on her hand. They actually had to use rubbing alcohol to clean the makeup off of her where she was burned. I know, I couldn't imagine. Because, well, you have to think, it was copper-based paint.
Right.
So that, who knows what that was gonna do to her skin. I mean...
There was one time, and it was to my sister, so it's fine. But I had, like, used a little bit of alcohol to clean up some of the stencil, like, around the tattoo I just did. And then without thinking, I, like, wiped over her tattoo. She was like, oh! I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
And that was just, like, I mean, tattoos are more along the lines of, like, cat scratches.
Yeah.
So that's nothing compared to having third-degree and second-degree burns.
Yeah.
And then having alcohol put onto those. I can't imagine how
painful.
Yeah, like, that is insane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because, and also, this is just another thought that I had. Probably, I assumed, like, the copper-based paint probably played a factor. I mean, with that being metallic, it probably got so hot. You know what I mean? Like, the metal in the paint.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but I imagine that it didn't exactly help anything.
Yeah.
And the infection risk of having something like that on you and burning it into your skin.
Yes.
Is astounding.
Now, she was hospitalized for 6 weeks.
I Can imagine. I'm surprised, I guess, that it was only 6 weeks, to be honest.
Oh, man. Now, after recovering, the actress stated, quote, "I won't sue because I know how this business works, and I would never work again. I will return to work on one condition. No more fireworks." Valid, understandable,
Valid, yeah.
claim. I'll come back on set, but, I'm not going to deal with fire anymore, which I get.
Yeah.
However, on her first day back, they were going to film the Surrender Dorothy scene, which involved her sitting on a broom with smoke coming out of a pipe on the back.
Mm.
And she just flat out refused. She said, "No, I'm not doing it."
Right. She literally said this was my one thing.
Yeah.
That I told you. And, like, I feel like that wasn't that important to have. Like, you could have probably figured it out without the smoke.
You would have thought. So they got a stunt double. Betty Danko was her name.
Mm-hmm.
She performed the scene. However, she was severely burned during the sequence. The pipe on the broom exploded after the third take and caught on fire.
Wow.
Imagine that!
Obviously, I feel really bad for her, but it's kind of like, it's almost like somebody tried to tell you to stop doing this shit.
I mean, come on, people.
I'm not laughing because any of this is funny. I'm laughing because it's so fucking absurd.
Oh, it's insane. No, it's flat out insane. Now there was actually also an incident with the actors and, like, the stuntmen playing, like, the flying monkeys. They were actually suspended from wires attached to, like, a track above the stage.
Oh.
During one of the flying scenes, the supporting wires broke, which caused the actors to plummet to the ground without any padding. And, of course, it resulted in injuries.
They really just wanted to film this film as fast as fucking possible. And
yes, and it shows.
The first thing to go out the window was any type of safety precautions.
Yes. Yeah, and it shows.
Yeah.
100%. Now, in the scene where Dorothy, Toto, and the Cowardly Lion, like, fall asleep in the poppy field.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm going to get ready to talk about?
I know this scene.
All right. They're almost to the Emerald City.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the witch makes them fall asleep. And then all of a sudden,
snow.
The
snow.
The snow wakes them up. The snowflakes were actually made of asbestos.
Yes, asbestos.
Asbestos. I've heard both. Asbestos.
Oh, no, I wasn't correcting you.
Sorry. I don't know. No, I actually don't know the correct pronunciation.
I mean, I've always heard it and pronounced it as asbestos.
Okay.
But, yeah, that shit is fucking rough. It's like deadly shit.
That is deadly.
And they were just like, here's some ground up flakes of asbestos for you to breathe in.
Yep. Well, to be fair, though, back then they didn't know.
Right.
It was in everything.
Yeah. I think it wasn't until like 1980 that it was actually like banned because they realized.
Because they figured out like, oh, this is gonna kill you.
Right, which is why like when we were talking about the Bassano vase, and I was like, it could have been like maybe something with the materials because for the longest time there's so many things that we didn't know would like cause cancer or all these things
exactly
that are actually like I think about all the time is the radium girls.
Yes.
And I think about that, like, that's in my head all the time. But we genuinely thought that, like, uranium was fine to handle. Like,
and just... with our generation, it's the plastics, the microplastics in the blood.
Yeah, everything is fucking plastic, dude.
Oh, shoot. Now, actually, the Scarecrow's costume was reportedly treated with asbestos. Because to make it flame resistant. No, because that's the thing. It wasn't. No, you laugh, but actually, like, it doesn't catch fire.
No, I know I'm not laughing because I'm like, so you could either catch on fire or you can have this cancerous material literally glued to your skin. What would you like?
Which one do you want?
It's like, Jesus, dude.
Here's the thing. Like, everyday people were buying this stuff. They would literally buy it around Christmas time to put it on their trees to make it look like it was snowing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, like I'm not
everyday
like,
thing.
how dare they not know?
No, I know.
Because they just didn't know.
No, they just didn't know.
But it's still now retrospectively is crazy.
It is insane to think back on.
Like your options are catch on fire or have cancerous materials literally coating your body.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But as we now know, as we were just talking about, asbestos can cause a lot of issues over time, like Mesothelioma, one of the worst cancers you could ever get, honestly.
Yeah.
And now I suppose we have to talk about the infamous hanging Munchkin rumor.
Yeah, I heard about that all the time growing up.
Yes, same here. So the story is that there's a swinging shadow in the background of the scene where Dorothy and Scarecrow meet the Tin Man, and that all three of them are going down the yellow brick road to continue their journey.
Mm-hmm.
And the claim is that this was a Munchkin actor that hung themselves.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is claimed to be false. According to MGM, the shadow was actually a very large bird, possibly a African crowned crane stretching its wings.
Okay. I don't fully trust anything the studio says, though, given what we just covered.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. To give benefit of the doubt, though, director Victor Fleming rented several live birds from the Los Angeles Zoo and had them in the background on set. You can see them everywhere.
Okay.
It was to kind of add to the whimsy and give the scene an alive look. So honestly,
maybe
it's a possibility.
Okay.
Now the rumor does still persist because in like the early like VHS version of the film, it's grainy and yeah, it kind of looks like you see something swinging.
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie. But now in the more restored like high definition digital versions that we see now, it's definitely like a crane stretching its wings. So it's kind of up for debate. A lot of people are like, oh, they changed it, they doctored it, you know.
I was gonna say, which is entirely possible.
Which is possible.
Like
I'm not
they
gonna
had
say
to go
no.
in and use like software and stuff to it's like to clean up the film.
Yeah.
So it's like entirely possible that they just edited it. Edited
it.
But it's also like I feel like there would have been more on it if it did actually happen.
Because here's the thing. I've thought about this. If it actually had been someone that killed themselves, it would have been a prop tree that's probably like wire and like other non-sustainable stuff. I feel like
unless it was too though, because like if they're in a building, there's like rafters and things like that. It could have been something from higher up. I mean, the monkeys themselves were on a track that could support their weight.
That's true. You got a point there. I don't know. I feel a little skeptical. Me personally,
right?
I feel like it wasn't. I feel like it was a bird or just a weird shadow.
I
just
mean,
something...
out of everything, there's already enough.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if there's no solid proof of this, we shouldn't add to the horror because there's enough horror in it.
There's enough going on with this film in the makings of this film.
If it did actually happen, my personal opinion is that there would be more, or even some of the little people would have come out and been like, so and so did hang themselves.
Yes.
And like
and none of them
lines.
Yeah.
Right.
And in fact, I think one of them, Jerry, who I mentioned earlier, I think actually said, to quote, it was bullshit. I think. Like
that makes way more sense. Yeah. For sure.
So, what are your thoughts? What are your many probably thoughts going through your brain as we went through the rabbit hole of this?
It's just crazy. Like, especially because the movie is so well loved.
Yes.
And it's such like a classic.
It's a classic, yeah.
And then you really like look into it and it kind of makes you like a little bit disgusted about like ever watching it again. Like, I don't know if I would. I know that they don't get any money or anything from it probably at this point.
Yeah.
But it's still like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you can separate, you know, because like you see that in musicians.
Yes.
Like musicians will be really shitty fucking people and everybody's like, you can separate the art from the artist. And it's like, but no, only to like some extent. Like when they're still reaping benefits from you listening to their music or you buying their art, you cannot separate the art from the artist. That's just not possible. Because you're still supporting them. Even if you're not intentionally doing it, you're still giving them money. Yeah. So it's like, it's just one of those things. I don't know if they get any money from it. I'm sure MGM still does.
I would think. At least from like merch, I feel like.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's just weird. It makes me feel icky.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sure. Yes. Well, that about wraps up what I have for The Wizard of Oz, unless there's something you'd like to add.
No, I think that because the hanging rumor was honestly, I think the one thing I knew about that. And in my head, I couldn't remember if it was like completely a rumor or if they were like, there's some truth to it, but it's not how it seems, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then I knew about the asbestos.
The asbestos.
That became pretty well known. I think probably after everybody found out how bad asbestos was.
Yes.
Then everybody was like, oh my God, they used it for everything in The Wizard of Oz.
Literally, who knows how many takes they did of that scene?
Right.
It wasn't probably just one take.
No, I can't imagine that it was. Because even if you like have a perfect take, you usually film a few as backups and things like that.
And they're breathing that in.
They're just chilling, laying in flowers, breathing in asbestos. Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy. That's fucking rough. But yeah, I think this is the last episode that's comes out before the Doss House episode.
Ooh, guys, I cannot wait for you guys
I'm
to hear
so
this.
excited. I'm trying so hard to scrub through all that audio, but it is tough.
There's so much.
There's so much of it. So the plan is obviously to get it out next Sunday for you guys. I'm hoping that I won't need a delay, but if I do need a slight delay, I'll post it somewhere so that everybody knows that even if it's just like the audio might come out later on Sunday than normal, or I might need like a couple more days to get it done, I'll let you guys know. We have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, a TikTok, and a YouTube, and you can find any of our updates there.
Yep.
I believe on all of them we're like investigation_pod or _podcast, something like that. You'll be able to find us hopefully pretty easy. We have our new profile picture of us. I paid on Fiverr. There's an artist. I don't remember. It's like Nada_Kusik, I believe. And she did like Tim Burton inspired characters of us. So those are our profile pictures now on everything. So that's super exciting. So you can find us hopefully pretty easy. Yeah, the Doss House audio is already like terrifying. I definitely recommend listening with headphones if you can, because there are a lot of things like in the background that you'll catch that you might not catch if you're just playing it through your speaker. I am doing my very best though to make the softer sounds louder so that you can maybe hear them just through speaker, but no guarantees. But anyways, that is everything. Thank you so much for listening. That's and then it's just. And we'll catch you in the next investigation,
Yeah,
right?
essentially, okay. Yeah. Don't go too far.
Don't go too far. That's right. All right. Yeah, but that's everything. So thank you so much for interesting and
so close. We need to give you a script. We just need to give you a script.
I can do it. I swear. Thank you so much for listening. And don't go too far, because we'll catch you in the next investigation. Bye.
Bye.